Good afternoon, and welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Mama Grace in Progress podcast. I'm Buffy, and if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Happy to have you. To give you a little bit of information about me quickly, I'm a women's lifestyle creator on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Same username throughout, recovering_perfectionist_mama. And I talk about topics such as marriage, family, mindset, mental health, self-empowerment, self-improvement, as well as functional fitness, cycle syncing, all sorts of things, mindset and self-empowerment as well. I run the gambit. I'm trying to arm you with information to be able to level up where you want to and learn about topics that are of interest to you as women. And hopefully you can use that information to be able to live the life you want to live, model that for your children, and that potentially be part of our legacy. How great would that be? So today we are going to talk about finding your why, the deep work of purpose. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the Recovering Perfectionist Mama Grace in Progress podcast. Today we're going deep. Not Pinterest quote deep, not find your why because some motivational speaker told you that you should. We're talking about the kind of deep that makes you pause mid-laundry and ask, why am I really doing all of this? Who am I trying to make proud? What's actually driving my choices? Fear, expectation, truth, or all of the above? Because so many of us, especially women, are living lives we didn't consciously design. Where did that come from? Maybe we felt the need to live a life that others thought we should. Maybe we were performing. Maybe we felt like people expected us to live this certain path, even if it wasn't for us. We're managing them, we're performing in them, we're keeping them from falling apart, but we're not always living them with purpose. And today we're going to change that. I want you to grab your journal, maybe a cup of coffee or tea, maybe the car keys if you're multitasking, and let's talk about how to find your why. Not the pretty version, the honest one. The one that will change how you show up tomorrow. Why your why matters. Let's start with the truth. Without a why, life becomes one long to-do list. And we don't need more on our to-do list, do we? When you don't know what drives you, you'll let anyone and anything drive you. Expectations, trends, guilt, comparison. And here's what happens. You become productive, but not fulfilled. You check off boxes, but never feel done because you're not done because you don't know what your why is. Your why is the anchor that keeps you grounded when the waves of busyness pull you away. It's not about having one big purpose like change the world. That's too general. You need something more specific, more driven for you. Because don't we all want to change the world in some way? We all saw Wonder Woman, didn't we? It's about having a clear direction for this season. Your why evolves, just like you evolve. The purpose you had at 25 might not fit at 35, and that's okay. Your why grows with your healing. So today, I want you to uncover the version of you, your why that fits who you are now. Let's start with some hard but necessary questions. Who am I trying to make proud? Whose definition of enough am I using? What do I chase that doesn't actually satisfy me? These questions are uncomfortable. But discomfort is data. It's how you know you're getting closer to the truth. Peeling back the layers, purpose versus performance. So let's be real. For recovering perfectionists like us, purpose often gets tangled up in performance. We think our purpose is what we produce. The job, the degree, the image, the clean kitchen, the perfectly behaved kids. And, I used to believe that perfectly behaved kids was possible, but it's not because no one is perfect. Kids are going to have their off days just like we have our off days. Yes, somehow we think that they need to be perfect to kind of make us feel like we're being good parents because the judgments, right? Everyone's going to judge if your kid throws a tantrum. But your purpose isn't a performance. It's a pull. It's the quiet thing that calls you back when you've strayed too far from yourself. And you know what that feeling's like. Maybe you get in the wrong friend group who you think they are something that they're actually not. And you realize that you are a round hole trying to fit into a square peg that just doesn't fit. It's uncomfortable, it's tight, it's constraining, not for you, right? Maybe they're actually fake and you didn't realize that until you got into the thick of it. Maybe they're actually backstabbers and you didn't realize it until you got into the thick of it. Similar concept. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt fully alive? Like electric in your soul? When you weren't trying to impress anyone, just being yourself felt right. Let me tell you, the origin of this podcast goes from me having a broadcast journalism degree and being interested in sharing information with others. And then I got on a YouTube channel and started doing stuff with YouTube. And I remember saying to my husband, it felt like my life was coming full circle because September 11th happened and I decided that there's no way that I could put a camera have a camera and holding a microphone and ask somebody, so you just lost your whole family, how's that feel? It did not align with who I was. But I wanted to share things that would help others and encourage others because I'm a natural encourager. And it felt like my life was coming full circle. So I took the shot and started a podcast here recently. So I appreciate your support and thank you for tuning in. I'm not done yet, but just wanted to say thank you. When you weren't trying to impress anyone and just being yourself, isn't that the way it should be? That's a clue. Your why lives somewhere in that feeling. And sometimes to find it, you have to strip everything that isn't truly you. Here's an exercise. Draw 3 circles, one for what you love, one for what you're good at, and one for what the world needs from you right now. Where those circles overlap, that's the intersection of purpose. And remember, what the world needs from you now doesn't mean you have to change the world. I mean, we all want to change the world. It might just mean showing up fully for your family, your art, your own healing. The why beneath the why. Here's a secret to your first answer. What's my why is almost never the real one. If you say my why is to help people, great, but why that? If you say my why is my kids, beautiful, but what do you want them to see in you? Every why has a why beneath it. Try this 5-layer exercise. Ask yourself why 5 times in a row. Example. Why do I want to start my business? To make a difference. Why do I want to make a difference? Because I want people to feel seen. Why do I want people to feel seen? Because I spent years feeling invisible. And there is your truth. The deeper why will always lead you toward healing. Purpose and healing are twins. They grow together. So when you hit resistance on tears while asking why, don't stop. That's where the gold is. Actionable strategies to discover your why. Okay, let's get practical now. Because insight without action is just noise, and no one needs more noise. Here are 5 ways to start finding your why. 1, look for the breadcrumbs. What keeps showing up in your life, even when you try to ignore it? A passion, a cause, a topic that won't leave you alone? That's a breadcrumb. And like my example about this podcast, it came from my husband, who is the most logical person that I know. So for him to say it, it had to be a sign, I thought. 2, track your energy. For 1 week, write down what gives you energy and what drains it. Patterns will point toward the purpose. 3, revisit childhood curiosity. Before the world told you what you wanted to be, what did you love? Robert Stack. I wanted to be Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries. For those of you that know, you know. I would pretend that I was solving unsolved mysteries just like Robert Stack, but I didn't have his great deep voice, right? Remember that? Maybe you can help solve a mystery. Patterns will point toward your purpose. Your purest why often lives in your childhood curiosity. Name your non-negotiables. These are things that, when neglected, make you feel off. For example, creativity, connection, calm. Visualize your 80-year-old self. Imagine her looking back. What would make her say, I'm proud I did that? The vision can reset your priorities fast. Purpose doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. You already know. When your why changes, here's something we don't talk about enough. Your why is allowed to evolve, just like you're allowed to evolve. We're not going to be the same people at 25 that we're at 35, 35 at 45, and so on. Motherhood can shift. Healing can shift it. Loss, success, burnout, all of it. So when your old why stops fitting, don't panic. You're not lost. You're growing. You're evolving. Sometimes we cling to old purposes out of guilt. But this used to matter to me. Yes, and it served you then. Now something new is trying to emerge. Give yourself permission to change direction. Growth doesn't mean betrayal, it means becoming. Building a life that reflects your why. Finding your why is step one. Living it is where the transformation happens. So here's your framework. Step one, name it. Write your why in one clear sentence. Example, my why is to help women remember their worth through honest conversations. I love that. Step two, align it. Audit your weekly choices. Where are you living that why? And where are you betraying it? Are your friends betraying it because you're with people who don't acknowledge your gifts and your joys and support you in it? Step three, anchor it. Create rituals that remind you daily. A sticky note, a lock screen note, a journal entry, anything that recenters you. Step four, adjust it. Check in monthly. If your life shifts, let your why evolve. Living your why isn't about control. It's about clarity. It's how you stop living by default and start living by design. Let's wrap up and offer a reflection here. Take a deep breath. You don't need to have your entire life figured out. You need to know what direction your heart is pulling you today. That's your why. Not a final answer, but a compass. And remember, you are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. So ask the hard questions, listen to the quiet answers, and trust that your purpose is not something you have to chase. It's something you uncover layer by layer by layer. So give yourself permission to live honestly and authentically. You're doing beautifully. If this episode spoke to you, don't keep it in your head. Take 10 minutes today to journal through these prompts. 1. What energizes me lately? 2. What feels heavy or draining? 3. What am I afraid would happen if I stopped performing? 4. What am I craving more in life? Then tag me at recovering_perfectionist_mama with your biggest aha moment, or just DM me your reflections. Let's start a movement of women who live from why, not should. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.